Hello folks, the Y Guy here again, and I want to invite you to my home. It's pretty windy out here, so I'm not even sure if this video is going to work. I hope that the rumbling of the wind doesn't distract so much, because it's a very important video. Well, to me it is, or else I wouldn't have done it, obviously. This video is called The Y Guy Has Been Exposed. Now, before I get into it, I want to invite any of my viewers to look me up on Facebook under The Y Guy as a group, or under my avatar, John Anthony Jones. And also, please leave a thumbs up, thumbs down, either one on the video, but explain why you do so that I can learn from you as well. We're all in this together, folks. Anyway, this video is The Y Guy Has Been Exposed. Yes, that is true. I have been exposed. I have been exposed to the perfect love of God. And some will say, well, what does that mean? Well, the perfect love of God that casts out fear. And then the question has to come into your mind, what fear? Well, if you happen to look that verse up, I'm not even going to give the address to it. Do just a tiny bit of homework and find out what it says, because it says right in the same verse, the perfect love of God that casts out fear of punishment. Punishment from who? Obviously from God, because that was the whole context of it. So, yes, I have been exposed to the perfect love of God. I also have been exposed to the Greek and the Hebrew language. I am so grateful for the internet for that. I used to hate the internet. I used to hate computers because all I could do was play solitaire. I was so numb, or not numb, what's a good word for being stupid when it comes to computers? I was terrible. But you know what? It's one of the best assets I have ever seen in my life. And no, everything on the computer, on the internet isn't true. No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying published dictionaries are. And if you can find a dictionary that's reputable, there's a good chance it's pretty accurate. That's what I'm basing all this on. So when I say I've been exposed to the Greek and Hebrew language, that is what I'm referencing, all right? And then that leads into the other exposure. I've been exposed to the horribly mistranslated word, hell. And not only have I been exposed to how it's been horribly mistranslated, there's the wind, hope that's working. Not only have I been exposed to how bad it's been translated in the Bible, through the Hebrew language and the Greek language, because of the Latin language, took it and ran with it and called it hell, when in the Hebrew it was just simply death or grave, or Sheol, meaning death or grave, and in the Greek it just simply meant death or grave, or Hades, death or grave, and because it came from Sheol, and then the Latins came along and changed it into like a Dante's Inferno kind of a thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just, there's some history to this, folks. And if you're not willing to even entertain, even look at that word and find out how it originated and how it formed in language and in languages, and how it's been interpreted and translated and mistranslated, if you're not willing to do the tiniest bit of investigation because you're fearful of being wrong, oh, you're not walking in God's perfect love. As simple as that, okay? Because it's fear. Don't let fear stop you from researching. Please, let me encourage you. I admit it was kind of scary when my wife and I first got into it, but then we realized, oh my gosh, this is amazing stuff. And it's fun. Guys, it's fun, not fearful. It will turn into fun. Anyway, the Y Guy has also been exposed to the history, and I mentioned that a little bit before when I talked about mistranslating the word. I've been exposed to the history of why hell was even inserted into scriptures. There's a reason for it, guys. It's not one of those, not hate to say this, it's the truth. God didn't insert it in there. Man did, and for a reason, and for a purpose. But you got to know a little bit about history. And when you do look at history, I realize that history can be relative depending on who wrote it and what the circumstances was. I understand all that. But you know, when you have a point, counterpoint, when you have people that are agreeing on history, and then when you have language to back it up, and when you have a word like hell, a word like that, and in history you find out the people who translated that word in history. And then you find out historically that they didn't translate every time death and grave was mentioned, they didn't change it to the word hell. In other words, no consistency. They only changed it to the word hell when it came to an unbeliever. But they, generally speaking, they left the words death and grave alone. They left them alone when it didn't apply to the unbeliever. See, so not only do you have an inconsistency, but that brings up a red flag of why did they do that? And who was it that translated those? Everyone will agree who it was that translated it. So there has to be an agenda of why it was translated to hell. Okay, I'm using common sense, common investigative sense here. All right? Okay, and just like two last ones, the white guy has been exposed to the ignorance, and that's what this whole thing is all about. Has been exposed to the ignorance as well as the arrogance, unfortunately, the doctrines of men, and how it's perverted God's love, and how the arrogance and doctrines of men have nullified the cross by ignoring the accomplishments of Christ. I've been exposed to those things. And the very same people, okay, who want me to reconsider my view of the word hell, of my lack of belief in hell now, those very same people that want me to reconsider it, they want me to go back because they love me. That's their motive. They care for me. They're worried I'm going there. So now they want me to go back and revisit my belief in hell. Well, folks, to take a proverb, that would be like a dog returning to its vomit. Good luck with that. Can't go there, can't do that. Once I've been exposed, and once you're exposed, you won't be able to either. Well, I love you whether you agree with me or not. Thank you for viewing.